Does Jesus even care? Does he care about our current struggles? Does he care about people dying of this viral disease? Does Jesus care about people who are out of work and people who are struggling? It is a serious question that demands serious answers. On this week's episode of the 5-Minute Break, we are going to find out if Jesus really cares about us. Let's go. Hello, my friend. I am thankful that you have chosen to take a 5-minute break with me today. My name is Dave, and I serve as lead pastor at First Christian Church in Arcadia, Florida. You know, I have been a pastor now for 17 years, and believe it or not, there have been several times in my life where I have questioned whether or not Jesus cares about the troubles happening in my own life. I want you to know this. It is okay to ask questions. You know, King David asked if God really cared when David asked in Psalm 35, verse 17, "O Lord, how long will you look on? Rescue my life from these ravages, my precious life from these lions." Job questioned God about the reasons for his suffering. Even the martyrs in heaven cry out asking when God will finally avenge their blood. That's right out of Revelation 6, verse 10. But I want us to focus on one particular instance where Jesus was questioned about if he cared in John chapter 11. Because here we read about Jesus' dear friend Lazarus, who was very sick. His sisters, Mary and Martha, send word for Jesus to come quickly, hoping that Jesus would heal his friend. But Jesus doesn't come. He stays where he is for another 2 whole days. By the time Jesus finally arrives in Bethany, we learn that Lazarus has been dead and buried for 4 days. Naturally, Mary and Martha are very upset with Jesus. And in John chapter 11, verse 21, Martha tells Jesus this. "Lord," Martha said to Jesus, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died." How many times have we questioned Jesus in the same manner? "Jesus, if you had only been here to keep that needle out of my son's arm. Jesus, if you were only there to stop me from going to that motel room. Jesus, if you had only been there when I needed you." I'm going to tell you something that might be controversial. Jesus did not come to solve your earthly problems. And Jesus did not come to take away the troubles of your life. Jesus came to solve our sin problem and give us resurrection and a new life. Does Jesus care about our troubles? Yes, of course he does. In John chapter 11, verse 35, when Jesus is brought to the tomb of his dear friend Lazarus, we read the shortest verse in the whole Bible. Jesus wept. Even though Jesus knew that he was going to raise Lazarus from the dead, Jesus still empathizes with Mary and Martha's pain and sorrows. And he empathizes with yours as well. Jesus didn't come to take away our problems, but he is with us in every trial and suffering that we face, because he knows he has already won the final victory over sin and death forever. So after Jesus weeps, he performs his greatest miracle and raises a dead man to life. Jesus is still in the business of raising dead people from the grave. Jesus cares about you so much that He died to save your life. And all He asks is that we believe and trust in Him. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of the 5 Minute Break, and I hope to see you again next time.